Cricket time now on the SportsMax Zone. After another disastrous batting effort, the West Indies were comfortably beaten by Bangladesh in the second one-day international in Dhaka on Friday. Electing to bat, the Caribbean side were skittled out for 148 in 43.4 overs before the hosts eased to 149 for 3 in 33.3 overs. Here's Ricardo Chambers with a look at the contest.
West Indies handed batsman Kieran Otley's debut cap in place of fast bowler Shamar Holder. No doubt an attempt at bolstering a woefully exposed batting lineup from Game 1. After the dismissal of opening partner Sunil Ambrose, Otley showed signs of quality. The left-hander hitting 2 fours and a spanking 6 over mid-wicket in his 44-ball stay at the crease. He contributed 24, the second highest of the innings, before Mahidi Hassan Miraz had him caught at cover. Like Ambrose, Joshua Da Silva was again on the failing side, as Hassan Miraz tormented the Windies lineup with a player of the match effort of 4 for 25. Andre McCarthy clearly hadn't learnt from his dismissal in Game 1. Another swing across the line, again to Shakib Al Hassan, resulting in his demise. First match top scorer Kyle Mayers wasn't given a chance to get going this time around, run out without scoring at 5 for 41. Nkrumah Bonner 20 and Rovman Paul with a top score of 41. Alzara Joseph with 17 and Akil Hussain at 12 not out all showed a little fight in the team's 148 all out. In reply, Bangladesh reached their target with 100 deliveries to spare. Captain Tamim Iqbal with his 48th ODI 50 and Alassane 43 not out leading the way. Hussain, Raymond Rifa and Captain Jason Mohammed took a wicket each.
I think the wicket looked a lot better today. We thought if we bat first and put some runs on the board, we could have defended to even bowl out the team. So I think that was the idea behind it. Obviously, the guys have their potential. I think we just not put any performances together. We're not being able to put big partnerships so individuals get into big scores. So the guys are capable, so hopefully we can put that right in the last game.
The third and final ODI will be played in Chattogram on Monday.
So it's not just this series that the West Indies have struggled in ODIs against Bangladesh. Bangladesh have won their last 7 ODIs against the West Indies and 9 of the last 10. The last time the Windies beat Bangladesh in an ODI was December 11, 2018. They lost that 2018 series 2-1 and have since suffered losses against the Tigers in the 2019 Tri-Series, which also involved Ireland in Dublin, as well as their World Cup encounter in Taunton that year, plus the ongoing series. Now, to help us look back at the second ODI, we have former West Indies fast bowler Tony Gray to talk to us. And Tony, I want to start at this point that, as the graphics just showed, we know that this is an understrength West Indies team, and a lot can be said about that. But the lack of success against Bangladesh in ODIs didn't start in this store.
Yeah, definitely. So good evening to you, Lance. Good evening to George. Nice shirts to begin with.
Go ahead.
Yeah, in recent times, it has been that way. Bangladesh is always going to be a hard place for our players to play, primarily because our batsmen are not adept at playing spin at all. And if you look at the returns in regional cricket against our spin bowlers, it has not been good at all. So I don't think that we have the skill level to deal with that level of spin in Bangladesh, where the pitches turn prodigiously. So I expected that. I expected us to put up a better fight, but I expected us to lose in the end because of our inability to play spin bowling.
Yeah, but they didn't look too comfortable against the left-arm pace Mustafizur Rahman either, Tony.
Well, definitely so. And the thing about it is that, batsmen are poor when it comes to technique. Our technique has not been good against England. Our technique has not been good against New Zealand. And it's shown up against the faster bowlers too. When the ball is moving, we're all over the place. And definitely we need to improve our technique. And to do that, obviously, it has to start from the foundation level. I don't think that we have the foundation, the proper foundation to work with. And when the ball is moving around off the pitch, through the air, the short deliveries, we are at sea.
Yeah, well, let's start first of all looking back at last night's game with the team selection, because they bolstered the batting by including Kieran Otley and dropping the fast bowler Shamar Holder. Would that be something you would have done if you were in charge?
Not really giving him a second chance, but obviously the batting order needs to be looked at carefully, because I don't think that we're doing the right thing. The least experienced players are batting up front, and they are under pressure already because it's the early parts of their career in a one-day scenario against a Bangladesh team that is very strong at home. So I would tend to put the Rovman Powell, for example, up top. The Reefer, he's a left-handed batsman, and we need left-hand, right-hand combination. And I would tend to put the senior players to face the early deliveries from the faster bowlers and the spinners. But the younger players are under pressure, and we know that we struggle in the middle order against a spin. So we at sea.
Yeah. Interesting that you pointed out Rovman Powell, that you would have put him earlier in the batting order. He was one of the top scorers in the first defeat, batting at number 7, and then he came back in the second, batting at number 8. So they've done exactly the opposite, Tony, of what you would have suggested.
Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a stable batting order at all, and Coach Simmons and the other coaches need to sit down and really plan properly, because this is not an easy scenario for them to be in. With 12 senior players not being there for COVID situations and then the personal reasons. I think that what you need in your batting order is stability. And the first goal, obviously, is to bat the 50 overs. And we have not been doing it at all. As I said before, the rotational strike has not been good in the Caribbean. We're looking for the big shots, and against the moving ball, against the ball that is turning, we cannot do that. But I like to see the senior players with that experience of playing at the highest level being put to face the new ball, and also on the top of the order.
Yeah, and the Rovman Powell issue, he went into the ODI series with, I think, 34 ODIs, far more than the others in the team. I think Alzara Joseph and Jason Mohammed had 27, 28 ODIs, and the others, as you know, many of them 0. So Rovman Powell, as far as experience is concerned, certainly boasting a lot more know-how than many of them. Not that his performances, Tony, have really covered himself in glory, to be quite honest. But during your international career, Tony Gray, you played a lot more ODI cricket for the West Indies than you did Test cricket. What has gone wrong with this West Indies ODI performance, given the fact that, you know, they were twice world champions in 75 and 79 and then 83 beaten finalists, but in the past decade, the ODI game for the West Indies has been pretty poor.
Well, as I said before, you have to look at the foundation, and this is where research comes in. So Vivian Richards, Gordon Greenwich, these guys played Test cricket before one-day internationals, so they had the rudiments of the game down pat, and they had all the different scenarios to go through, because the longer version of the game gives you that. So the transferal to the one-day internationals, where skill is concerned, and the ability to rotate strike, the ability to deal with different situations of the game, different scenarios, was already there in their memory and their experience. So they were able to make the transition. Plus, it's the same sort of approach you need in a test match scenario, just a little bit more defensive where bowling is concerned, and patient where the bowlers are concerned. But again, we're not seeing the foundation laid properly, and these guys are playing T20 cricket, and it's messing up the techniques. So they have not been laying the foundation, and they are playing too many T20 games. So they're in real trouble now.
Okay, Tony Gray, as usual, always great to have you on the SportsMax Zone. And I guess on Monday we'll be looking to review what happens in the third and final ODI, the West Indies having already lost the series. Thanks for joining us.
You're welcome.
Also something to look forward to next week Wednesday on the SportsMax Zone. What we expect to be a riveting discussion about the recent India-Australia 4-test series, which was live on SportsMax. Where does it rank in the pantheon of the greatest series of all time? And we'll be discussing that on Wednesday's show, 4:30, 5:30 Eastern Caribbean time.